Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the cockpit. It's hot today here, probably everywhere in the world. It seems like it is hot everywhere. So, I'm already halfway through the pre-flight here. Let's got things set up. We are in Brasília, Brazil. And as always, we're in the beautiful, not as always, fly lots of planes, but lately anyways, my choice of airliner has been the PMDG 737, which is just really, really good. We've got most things already set up here in the upper panel. I have not yet started the APU because I wanted to preserve, I didn't want to waste fuel just sitting here at the gate, so we'll get that turned in. We're going to be flying at 39,000 feet. And we are currently sitting at an altitude of 3,498. So our landing altitude to 3,500. Wait for that APU to come up. And we'll see if we can talk to pilot to ATC, which we should be able to do. So many windows. So we're currently on the ATIS, even though we're not getting the ATIS. Switch over. Goal 2702 radio check.
Goal 2702, you are loud and clear.
Call sign today is Goal 2702, which is actually a passenger flight that flies this route. Okay, so APU is on. We've switched over to it. We are now free to disconnect from the ground power, which also means that we can go into, whoa, set my trims. We can go into our menu here and not that. We want to go to the FS actions. We can dismiss the wheel chocks, which will also dismiss the ground power unit. We're now free and on our own. Let's get our clearance here so we'll know what we're doing. Goal 2702 ready to copy IFR clearance.
Goal 2702 is cleared to Sierra Bravo Romeo Juliet. Climb via the LIVE-1B departure, with the NIMKI transition, then as filed. Expect departure runway 11 right. Climb to flight level 170 via the departure.
170.
Expect higher clearances 9 minutes after departure. Approach on 129.72. Squawk 3415.
3415.
2702 read back correct. Altimeter is
Then read it
3015.
back.
Contact ground on 121.8. When ready for pushback, have a good afternoon.
Altimeter is 3015, ground on 121.8, Goal 2702.
Alright, 11 right. Got our transponder code set. We've got altitude set. We will put in the runway heading here at 108. And we should be pretty much ready to push back and start our engines. I'm just having a look at my chart here to see which direction we want to turn. We're going to want the nose to the left. Get our fuel pumps on and get the APU bleed on. I forgot about the packs again. Sorry, everybody in the back sweating their balls off. That's my bad. My bad. Goal 2702, ready for pushback.
Goal 2702, pushback approved.
Pushback approved, goal 2702.
We will push back. I like to do the... actually, I've gotten used to the pushback tool here in the PMDG. It's actually pretty solid. I like the... Cross the T. We will turn the nose, I said, to the left. Select tug. And... on. Start.
Cockpit to ground. Go ahead. We've been cleared for push and start. Tail to the right. Yeah. Right. Parking brakes release, please.
Brakes released.
Brakes released.
1511 after done to direct at Leeton, then Lima 451 Oldie, and then Elizabeth City after that at file. That's 1511. 1511, back there.
Maybe downside of this pushback. It has these pauses in between that seem redundant. Alright, we can have a nice look outside. I'm in a weird in-between world with HDR right now. I had HDR on, then I set up my stream, which isn't set up for HDR, so I had to turn it off. But I think it looks alright. More importantly, I think it looks normal on the stream. I'm just not used to the non-HDR-ness of it all. It's a little bit of a bummer. Alright, we'll get the right engine started. See it spinning up here. And of course I cannot see if we are at 20, but we'll just assume that we'll introduce the fuel. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, we're good.
Runway 07 and push back and engine start, United 109.
The one thing I like about this dot, across the T pushback style that PMDG has, it will pull us forward now again, which is kind of nice. So it literally goes like a T, up, and then over one branch of the T and back to the other side. I do like this, gives me more time to actually start the engines. Okay, so that is one engine going. Start the left engine. The downside of it is it's nowhere near as convenient as toolbar pushback or pushback express, where you have some visual indication. Like I can set the distance to the taxi line in meters or feet or whatever that unit of measure is, but I can't. I mean, it's 295. Obviously we were a little long, I think. Actually, maybe a little short. I'm not sure which line we should have been on. We should have been on the yellow line, so we were a little long, but choose fuel. I have no idea how much. I'm not very good at guesstimating that, so some visual guidance would be really lovely. But it is what it is. It's reliable, at least.
Alright, steering pin is disconnected. Watch for the slip release from guidance on your left. Have a good flight.
You too, Robert from PMDG. You too. Just wait for this engine to fully come on. There's the click I was waiting for. Alright, this is where I usually tend to forget things, so I'm going to my checklist. We have pushbacks done. Fuel pumps as required. Center pumps I'm not on because we have 0 kilograms of fuel in center tanks. Gen 1 and 2 on. There we go. Now the plane is getting power from the engines, which is set the engine starters to continuous. Anti-ice we do not need. Packs to auto. APU bleed off, APU off. Flaps to 5. And why is this not on my list here? Probeads. So. And we will enable ARM, VNAV, LNAV, auto throttle. And none of them went. Why did none of them want to engage? What happened there? That's weird. It might just do it when we get out there. Huh. We set the MCP speed to V2 plus 20, which is what I like. Alright, and we're ready to go taxi. Goal 2702, ready to taxi.
Goal 2702, taxi to runway 11 right.
Wow,
Taxi
that's
to
usually
runway
they give
11
us
right, goal 2702.
some instructions as to which way to taxi, but okay. Taxi lights come on, auto brake to RTO. We've already set, I'll turn on RAS, we've set flight altitude and landing altitude. We will go taxi all on our lonesome, which, looking at the chart, we're going to taxi via, oh hello airplane, Lima 6, Kilo, Uniform, Yankee, hold short, 11 right, brakes off. Now we're ready to roll. The AI planes are injected by live traffic, which is a awesome tool. It's not free, unfortunately. And worse, it has a monthly subscription. It's not very much, though, but it's so worth it. If you want, I'm using AIG models, and then I'm using that, so it inserts actual real life traffic, and it is the best of all the ones that I've used so far. It's better than Aerosoft Simple Traffic. It adds way more planes to traffic. They're everywhere. They're in the sky. They're on the ground. Different models, different types of planes. General aviation, airliners, everything. It's great. It's very, very good. Okay, so this should be Kilo. The only downside is with the cheaper subscription, you don't get, you can't change the time of traffic. It's just live. I can't backtrack. Hey, Axeman, yesterday you just did fills and timekeeping. One speed test, didn't record anything today. Let me record a beat, a bunch of fills. Sounds good. Then it's back. That's just the method. So I plugged in last. I'm going to pretend to know what half of what you just said means. Welcome aboard. You never need to worry about explaining why you started talking. You come here to talk. Ah, you've been here the whole time, lurking. That's all good. So now, the only downside to real traffic, of course, is that it's not aware of me until I go right through this plane. So it will pop out. It will go away. Oof, it goes away. So it's not bad. At least they don't get in the way. You don't actually collide with them. It's a small price to pay for having that plane there in the first place, in my opinion. Careful. Oh, that's good. There's a big red runway ahead, no entry sign. So that I could see pilots accidentally doing that, and then suddenly you're on an active runway. Nah, just the pilots. So this flight should be fairly uneventful until the last 15 or 20 minutes or so, I suspect, when we'll be shooting the RNAV whiskey approach, and it's going to be actually really beautiful. I've seen someone else do it on the stream before, and I did not realize that Volanta had it as one of its challenges. They have a handful of them there, so every once in a while I'm looking for flights to do or something. I check out what challenges they have. That's actually one thing I've noticed. I know in the news it's been, it's heat waves all over the world, and I've been flying quite a bit all over the world, and it has been, with the exception of anywhere around Australia for some reason, it has been absolutely clear skies. I kind of miss having some weather. Last time I had some weather was when I was flying from Sydney to... Nope, Melbourne to Sydney. It was raining quite a bit then. Look at this guy taking off. Now, one thing I wish you could have is the name tags. I would love to see what this actual flight number is. There is a way for me to find out, but I would love to see this in the sim. It's another gold. That's actually a really nice livery. I wish I had that. I have seen some rather intimidating looking storm cell images on Twitter lately from some people that like to chase storms. So yeah, there's definitely some of that going on.
American 902.
Go ahead, sir.
It's on the runway 25 via Delta, taxi Kilo, Lima, and Foxtrot Lima, runway 25,
Crossing runway 25 Kilo and Lima, audition runway 25 Lima, and 905.
The lighting still looks weird to me a little bit, but I think it's actually normal. I just gotta make sure to turn my HDR stuff back on after this stream. My capture card can handle HDR, but it does a terrible job of actually making it look like I'm streaming like anything decent. But you actually had rain. I would love some rain right now.
2702.
Alright, we headed over to the tower. My lovely Australian Polly, co-pilot, Amazon Polly.
JetBlue 1606, wind 250 degrees, 8 knots, runway 25, clear for takeoff.
Runway 25, cleared for takeoff. JetBlue 1697.
Goal 2702, ready for departure, runway 11 right.
Goal 2702, winds are light and variable, cleared for takeoff. Runway 11 right.
Cleared for takeoff.
TCAS
Runway
TA
11
only.
right, goal 2702.
TCAS TARA.
Tarmac looks good. This is also Payware livery that did not have very good reviews for some reason, but it was the only one I could find for this airport. It looks alright. I think part of it is that actually I think this airport in itself is not very interesting looking. Like the layout of it, I'm looking at the chart, it's basically just 2 runways with a small terminal in between. It's not very interesting looking. But that's not really the fault of the scenery editors, so.
Approaching. 1.
Like to look at
Right.
every last pixel of detail in the tarmac. Yeah. I've been playing a bit of F122, which I reviewed for Shacknews, and I've been loving it actually. I had a really good race the other week in VR. It's fun stuff.
On runway 1.
It does have good pavement too, yes it does. Alright, we are lined up. We still don't have LNAV and VNAV, and I don't know why. Let me just check here for a second. Cruise, it's the wrong flight level, should be 3900, but that doesn't really matter. I guess we're just gonna find out. Alright. Throttles, engines to 40% till stable. Stable to me. Toga. Okay, and then, oh, what is it complaining about? Okay, flaps, no, flaps are right. There's something missing. What did I miss? It's because I did my startup in a really weird way. I don't actually know why that master caution came out there for a second. Thrust hold. We'll see when we get up in the air. A lot of times the LNAV does not engage. Yeah, oh, I see. Flight directors would help.
Thank you, sir.
I have no flight director. I have a flight director now, but I got nothing positive. So gear comes up. There we go. LNAV. Not toga again. My bad. Ignore. VNAV. Now we're talking.
Goal 2702, contact Brasília Control on 129.72. Have a good afternoon.
Approach on 129.72.
It's because I never turned on the flight director, and you can't actually turn on autopilot. You can't arm autopilot modes without the flight director. So that's all it was. It's all good.
Approach Goal 2702, climbing to flight level 170.
Alright, let's get the autopilot engaged. There we go, looking good. And flaps up.
Tower Canada 996 Heavy on the ILS 23 left.
Canada 996 Heavy, runway 23 left, Kenneth 30 decimal point, continue Volanta.
Can I talk? Can I talk? Oh.
So the dinner is good. Squares, welcome aboard. Okay, that's better. Now I was sweating a bit, not because of the flight director missing. It's actually hot. That didn't really help. And this is also what, do we have a speed restriction? Why are we so slow? Oh, we're still below. Oh, we have an altitude restriction here. Okay, so this is interesting. Live F, below 9,000 feet. Okay. We're not allowed to go any higher just yet, even though ATC cleared us. So technically we could, but I'm just going to wait. It'll just be a second anyways, and then we'll climb up after that. After takeoff, check of gear up and locked. Flaps retracted. Auto brake. Off. Engine 1 and 2 starters are off, and runway takeoff lights are off. Landing lights. $116 until top of descent. That's going to speed up a bit as we actually get up in the air. So in less than half a mile, we should be able to climb again. There we go, VNAV speed. And just spooling up again, add power to start climbing to 17,000.
Under 11,000, clear the ILS Zulu, 5 right approach, 98154.
Wilco Goal 2702.
Goal 2702, contact Brasília Center on 128.5. Good day.
Center on
10,000 feet.
128.5.
Landing
Take
lights
care,
off.
Goal 2702. Center Goal 2702, climbing to flight level 170.
Some of my voices seem to have stopped working for some reason. It's very weird. Pilot to ATC. It's the best solution out there for ATC done by AI, but it is still very far from perfect. I very frequently encounter issues with the voices in particular, but it is much better than the built-in ATC. And as such, it is just better than not having any. And it's not quite as, VATSIM is the best if you have coverage and if you feel like having to pay that much attention, which I usually don't. Too much work most of the time on VATSIM. So what I'll probably do next flight, I've been flying also a PMDG product, the Douglas DC-6. It's a 4 radial engine airplane. I've been flying that a bunch, and it's beautiful. I've been flying it with old school radio navigation only, no GPS. I'm gonna do that on a future stream for sure. I just my current planned leg would have been too long for the stream, so maybe next week.
Goal 2702, climb and maintain flight level 250.
Climb and maintain
250.
flight level 250, goal 2702.
American 1528 with you, passing 67 on us, 10,000. JetBlue 839, radar service terminated, contact
Ooh.
power 124.95.
Orbex has released South American terrain mesh. It's only $12.90, and it's almost 25 gigabytes of high resolution
18,000 feet.
mesh for all of South America. I will tell you what, flight sim is an expensive hobby, not because of the gear you have to buy. You don't have to buy any of it, but it just makes you constantly want to buy something else. Hardware, throttles, controls, gauges, software, add-ons, planes, liveries, scenery,
Altimeter setting.
all of it standard set. SR-71 flights. Well, you're talking about the Dark Star? I have not yet. I've not yet tried it because they don't have the 71. Yeah, but do they actually have an SR-71 for MSF for a flight simulator? Not really. Now, having said that, Milvis is working on one that is supposed to go into beta this summer. And this is just based on a quick Google search. Now, if Milvis comes out with an SR-71, it will probably be quite good, because Milvis has done a great job on the C310. The Dark Star one is fine, but it's like, you fly at like 99,000 feet. To me, it's a gimmick, I guess. I'd be more likely to fly some Tomcats or something and pretend I'm Tom Cruise in not Mission Impossible, freaking Top Gun. Yeah, so the DC-6 is not all that different from a Liberator flight, you know, but just a civilian force. But the same kind of idea, 4 radial engines. It's just so much. It's so cool. And I've enjoyed because honestly, like flying the 737 here, which is wonderful. It is absolutely a great plane, and I can't wait for the next versions to come out. But now that I've taken off, like the next thing that I need to do is, outside of dealing with ATC, which again, I'm not using real human beings, so those I can kind of ignore if I want to. The next thing I need to do is somewhere before the top of descent, I need to tell it what altitude to go down to. And that's pretty much it. Otherwise I can just sit here and drink a beer. Which is great. Honestly, sometimes that's exactly how I want to fly. I just want to sit here and relax, hop outside the cabin, get a nice view of the airplane and the scenery. You know, sometimes that's exactly what I want. But flying the DC-6 and using radial navigation, I can still do some of that because it does have a primitive autopilot called a gyro pilot that will keep a heading and it will keep an altitude and will follow a beam, a radar, radio signal.
Flight level 330. Climb and maintain.
I spoke too soon. I have to turn the altitude knob every once in a while. Which is not really true because I could just set it to 39 and I'd be done. But anyways, with the DC-6 and radial, VOR navigation, it's a lot more fun because I can, you know, every VOR. First of all, I'm not just flying in a straight line because of GPS. I'm flying from one radio station to another. I'm tuning radios. I'm setting courses. I'm switching modes a little bit. I'm doing a lot of hand flying. Which, yes, okay, sure, I could hand fly the 737 at flight level 3900, but why would I do that? Like yeah, it's not the same. So I love flying the 737 and the Phoenix for that matter, and all these planes, even the small business jets on autopilot, they're great. But there's something special about flying the DC-6. And I will show you that, maybe next week.
16906, contact control, 119.6, bye-bye. 19.6, JetBlue 169.
So estimated time to top of descent now is 45 minutes. So yeah, we're looking good. Estimated time to destination 1 hour 6 minutes. Which actually it's going to speed up a little bit. We have plenty of time. We probably have enough time for a go around, which I hope we don't need, because if we do have to do a go around, it gets a bit more messy.
For weather. JetBlue 16906, DC traffic, can you fly heading 340? Affirmative, 340, heading JetBlue 169. JetBlue 16906, roger, fly heading 340. Heading 340, JetBlue 169.
One nice thing about autopilot is you can play shack pets while you're flying. So I guess I gotta go buy this South American mesh. It just seems like such a good deal for so much stuff.
1741 over Cologne. Say again, United 1741? United 1741 over Cologne. United 1741, contact tower 118.6, bye-bye. 118.6,
Don't think it's full screen here. Or not even 90% full screen either. Quite a little smaller here, or back central. So, South America, mesh.
American 2417, after Cessna, descend via the start to 10,000, clear for the ILS, solo runway 23 left.
Oh, weird. What did the email say?
Alright, after Cessna, descend via the star.
The email says 1884. Estimates only. This one says 2110 Australian dollars. Upside down dollars. 10-meter DEM data for the Andes. Minimal impact on performance. Compiled to reduce LOD morphing. Install size 24.9 gigabytes. At some point, I think I need to get a larger SSD just for this stuff, because I think I have something like 350 gigabytes of add-ons for Flight Sim right now. And I do have a terabyte SSD that this is running on, but that's eating up, you know, a huge chunk of it. It's almost half of it with the, if I include the actual base game installation. Yeah, that, I mean, if I had that, and you know, 512 is not, you know, you said only, but 512 is a very, very acceptable size for an SSD. Like, couple of years ago, I ran my OS on a 128 gig SSD, right? And then did a couple of 256s and a couple of 512s, and only recently did I get that 1 terabyte, like I guess 2 years ago. And then I've got a 2 terabyte one now as well, but yeah, these file sizes are getting bigger and bigger.
And descend to cross Cessna at 12000. Speed at your discretion, not less than 23.
Goal 2702, climb and maintain flight level 390.
Climb and maintain flight level 390.
I think you're right, Axe. I think they did. It's not really a concern anymore. They did for a while try to hang on that on console still, because that was not as easy to upgrade, but now that console drives are larger too, it's just whatever. See, there's so much cool stuff. I want to go do this too. I'm waiting for the Kodiak, the Floatiac, the float plane version of the Kodiak to come out, which will be soon, hopefully, because then I want to go flying in Africa with that, because this is so very cool. 32K, yeah, and 640K of memory, and that's all they ever needed. Cape Town, oh, it's beautiful. So every time I do a flight, I check my departure airport and my destination airport, and I check to see if there's scenery available. And more frequently lately, if there's payware scenery, I'm buying it because it's generally a step up. But sometimes there's really good freeware scenery as well. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna add this to the cart. I'll come back to this after the stream. What else? I already own Simple Traffic. The 32,760. Yeah, that's probably true. I wonder how good this enhanced AI for vessels and global shipping is. I use a freeware thing for shipping lanes that adds more ship traffic, and I've seen it quite a bit. I mean, we're not over the water here, but we might see some later. So what does this do? It replaces the few default AI leisure boat models, over 50 high-quality nightly ones. This does not add more traffic routes, but upgrades to default models. Okay. So global shipping, this updates traffic. Set ship and ferry traffic to 10% or more for the best results. Does this need to run outside the sim, or is it just... Is it about high altitudes? Sure. So I already own this, I don't know why it doesn't, I guess it doesn't know in here what I own and what I don't own, does it? It only knows about some things that I own. It's weird. I think it's because, yeah. The one downside with all these shops is a lot of these products are not actually Orbac's products. So for example, this Antarctica Volume 1 British Rothera and Beyond is by Aerosoft, and I bought it from Aerosoft, so this store does not know that I already own it. So there's a real risk of accidentally buying stuff twice. Lighthouses. Oh, beautiful. Man. Easter hunt. I guess we should have done that last Easter. I'll have to keep an eye on next year. India Foxtrot Echo. I mean, yeah, memory use was compared to now is crazy. There's like nothing there. Placement jetways. I have something similar to that I already use. The storm thing here doesn't really appeal to me. You can get some aircraft carriers, which is pretty cool. And if I ever do any flights with the military jets, I will get those. I was just at the Princess Juliana International Airport. Probably won't be there again anytime soon.
Center, good morning. Falcon 114 Bravo Delta 6300 for 10,000 Glada.
And this is for Virgin Islands, because why not? I'm literally just filling up my shopping cart now. I'm not actually going to buy this up. But let's close this. Almost at our cruising altitude of flight level 390. And again, oh, there's actually some clouds. Okay, so we do have a little bit of weather. Look at all these river deltas here in Brazil. This is obviously heavily, what's the word that I'm looking for? Cultivated? But I love the look of all these river deltas. They look like blood vessels. They're literally like the blood vessels of the earth. Yeah, no, it shows you the not Jetstream, the contrails. They've been in the sim for a while. It's always there, but you only see it from certain angles, right? Because it only starts a little bit behind it. Yeah, it's always there. Cool. It was actually a big complaint of people when the sim first launched. It didn't have that. People were like, where is it? Why is it not there? I think it might only show it at cruise. I don't know if it shows during the climb. I'm not entirely sure. It should, I suppose. Quick look inside the cockpit. Everything here looks good except for my position lights are in the wrong position. Packs are on. That's all good. All the heats are on. No warning lights. Go have a look out the rear. A little sit in the cabin.
Polycon 179 Heavy, contact to control 133.1. Adios.
The other thing I like about Pilot to ATC is that if you add in ATC chatter, it's like a large library of audio files, and it will play them depending on the region of the world. So we're in South America, so we'll play actual live ATC recordings of conversations in South America. So you get a little bit of the regional accents and dialects and stuff, which is cool.
Delta Cargo 8221, contact to control 133.1. Good day.
Goal 2702 contact Brasília Center on 123.85. Have a good afternoon.
Center on 123.85 Goal 2702. Center Goal 2702 at flight level 390.
Approach grade Lufthansa 498 Heavy 1 to South 327.
Lufthansa 498, radar contact.
Yeah, the haze effect of the lighting inside the cabin is so annoying that Flight Simulator does. Like, it's trying to simulate the light from outside or whatever, but it's just not. The real human eye, you'd actually be able to see outside that window still, too. But this is kind of a fun angle.
Alpha 179, radar contact, Zambia at 02 Alpha to flight level 296. Advance 47, after Cessna, descend via the start to 10,000 and just wait for the ILS Zulu runway 23 left approach.
Alright, Intercept cleared via the star down to 10,000. Clear play ILS 23 and 154.
Air Canada 995, fly direct to Cessna, descend via the star to 10,000.
Direct to Cessna, descend via star to 10,000, Air Canada 995.
United 1547, fly direct to Cessna and descend to cross Cessna at 12,000.
Fly direct to Cessna and cross Cessna at 12,000. Yeah, 1547.
JetBlue 1604 with you at a 5.4 climbing 10,000 direct to Coney.
All right, how are we looking? See the top descent already up there. 120 miles away. But yeah, see, like looking out the window here, it's very hazy, and you don't see a lot of detail. Now, if I stick my head up here, even though I'm still in the cockpit, it gets like there's a big difference there, and I don't like how they've done that. They're trying to simulate something that our eyes can actually compensate for in real life. So I don't know. In the meantime, I will go and load up our descent winds for the descent forecast.
PBR 243, contact approach 119.75.
119.75, for 3 area.
going to be a very slow approach, but I'm just looking at the approach plate. What's maximum speed at 160 for most of the final approach.
Contact Brasília Center
140 after that even.
126.15. Enjoy your afternoon.
Center on 126.15, goal 2702. Center goal 2702 at flight level 390.
SBBR 243, 210 routes indicated.
SBBR 210 now.
Dodge.
Right back to Westbound descent, 210, by the start, 1543.
American 38, carry up through 15,000, descend 14,000 feet, speed 210 knots indicated.
10 down to 14,000, United 10.
American 2417, radar service terminated. Contact tower 118 decimal second.
1855, American 2417, send.
Gol 2702, contact Brasília Center on 123.85, enjoy.
Center on 123.85, goal 2702. Center goal 2702 at flight level 390.
Yeah, for some reason that response from ATC is always broken. I can see the text version, but it's just not saying it. All they should be saying is Goal 2702, good afternoon, radar contact.
Bird 8 to 9, continue to descend to 8,000 feet, finish to 983. Just confirm if you're in the Denim 1 Alpha arrival. Affirmative, Denim 1 Alpha arrival, descend maintain 8,000 for zeroing 829.
Your flight 109, contact center 126.45.
Sagua, 112, Volanta Tower, 118, decimal 6. Have a nice day. Bye-bye. 118, decimal 6, decimal 6. Delta 1974, good morning. Control radar contact and via Barra 3 Lima, QNH 2996, expect ILS DME2 approach runway 07. This is Barra 3 Lima 2996 to the ILS to the runway 7 1974.
Gol 2702 contact Brasília Center on 124.8. Have a good afternoon.
Center on 124.8 Gol 2702. Center Gol 2702 at flight level 390.
Gol 2702, good afternoon. Radar contact.
Delta 1974 contact tower 118.626.
Delta 1974, good day, wind 100 degrees, 7 knots, QNH 29997, clear to land.
Gol 2702, expect the Azul 1 Alpha arrival with the token transition for the ANAV approach to runway 02 right with the Gilat transition at Santos Dumont. After pupil cleared, direct token.
Expect the Osil 1 Alpha arrival with the token transition for the nav approach to runway 02 right with the Jalute transition after puppet cleared, direct token Gol 2702.
Descent is just a couple minutes away.
Buenos Dias, departure United 10907 is through 6,500 for flight level 180 on the Manjo 3 uniform.
United 10907, good morning, to 3 uniform.
907 is climbing through 11,500 for flight level 180. Okay, climb unrestricted to flight level 300, 3 United 1097. Control, good morning, Alaska 283 passing 10,800 for 18,000.
Alaska 283, buenos días, continue climb to 18,000.
Continue to 18,000, Alaska 283.
Westjet 2599, good afternoon, climb unrestricted to flight level 340.
Climb unrestricted, flight level 340, Westjet 2599. JetBlue 38. JetBlue 38 with you, 146, climbing flight level 180. JetBlue 38, flying to flight level 340, Alpha Naval flight direct to Bravo Taco Oscar. And climb to 340.
2702 descend to cross Tokim at flight level 230, then descend via the Azul 1 Alpha arrival with the Tokim transition to cross Gilat at flight level 060, altimeter is 3006 at Santos Dumont.
Descend via the Osil 1 Alpha arrival with the Tokim transition to cross Gelut at flight level 060, altimeter is 3006, Gol 2702.
So at Gelut, 6,000 feet, yeah, and then we can really descend all the way down. Let's set it to 6,000 for now. Now, this pilot to ATC is going to try to vector us probably into a nicer approach. Like, and by nicer, I mean less difficult approach. And we're going to have to ignore them at that point because I need to fly the difficult one to complete the challenge. So we'll see how that goes. We are descending. Excellent.
Contact control 140.1.
24-1, W30, W38, thank you.
Reduce speed 200 knots.
200 knots, Delta 573.
And Delta 573, contact 1975.
1975, Delta 573, good day.
Bye.
Love that ATC recording. Bye. Oh, Tokim is already max 250 on the speed? Wow, at flight level 230 or below. Okay, this is going to be a very slow as well. So not just the approach, but the arrival itself is quite a bit speed restricted. Usually you've got 250 speed limit below 10,000 feet, but here in this one we've got it, we're going to have it at around 23,000 feet already.
American 546, contact 121, decimal 2.
21, decimal 2, 1954.
Such a beautiful plane.
knots until Mavic. After Mavic, comply with the approach. Contact 1975.
1975 after Mavic, comply with the approach, American 2546.
American 2547, descend out to 3000 and maintain 250 knots.
Center 13,000, 250 knots, American 2547.
Don't leave the hut yet, but we will use it when we get a bit further down into this approach. So it will be helpful. See, we're already slowing down to, well, actually it's still set to 259, but
Approach control 121.2
21-2, thanks, American 2547.
Control Delta 37, give the Burrow 1 Papa 35.
we are flying to Rio de Janeiro, Rumpel. Currently heading southwest over Brazil. We have about... It's not going to be... I don't think we're going to go all the way until 8 o'clock today. I think, unless I completely botch this approach, I think we're going to be arriving a little bit ahead of time. We've got about 20 minutes of flying left to do, I think. Maybe more, because we're going to be slowing down quite a bit for the final bit of the approach. But it's going to be a very scenic and difficult approach, from what I'm led to believe, anyway. So there's that speed limit of 250 knots, even though we're still well above the usual 10,000 foot limit, but we'll see how much we actually get to look out of the window and look at the scenery, because I did install some scenery for Rio de Janeiro. Just to make it look quite nice. What's the transition? 7,000 feet. Okay.
Roger 952 heavy radar contact with speed 210 knots.
Monday Alaska 283, 5,600 climbing 180.
Okay, let's see how we're looking here. Can't quite see the coastline yet. We're still a little ways inland, but let's see, next waypoint is Kozru, which is no restrictions there. Then Getvu between 8 and 10,000 feet. Then Gympie below 8,000. RJ017 at exactly 7,000. Oh, there is a VOR there. 3.6.
Alaska 23, go forward to the radar contact climb to 18,000 feet.
1,000 feet, Alaska.
Cool. It's quite the windy little approach. It looks really cool. Let's see. What can we do? I've already set the landing elevation to 0 feet because it's literally right by the water. We've set the minimum altitude, minimum safe altitude, 305. What else can I do? I suppose I could. Let's turn on lights soon. Not yet. One thing that I don't want to forget later is I'm going to set the auto brake to medium, or 3 rather. At least we're pretty much all set. So, no more speed limits until we get into the actual approach. Well, actually, that's not true. Gympie at 240. That's not really a speed limit, that's just what the plane is calculated, because we're already at 250 right now. So we will be decelerating now soon. And then after that, yeah, between Galut and the actual arrival of the RF legs, that's when we start really slowing down.
Alaska 283, if you can to 10,000 feet.
Or since I've started doing VR navigation with the DC6, I like to dial in VORs on here. Just to get some lines for stuff. In fact, I'm going to set, actually, this is not going to be, there is no VOR at this airport. But the runway heading is 020, so I'm going to actually set this on that VOR. That's going to be too far away. That's fine. I'll set it to the exit course. I think there is a way to set there's a way to set courses or something. A beam. I don't know, I'm just drawing lines on stuff now. I don't really know what I'm doing. 10,000, now we want lights on. Oh, we can see the water. Now we're talking. So we're going to be flying along the coast, and then we're going to do like a weird, like a little hook pattern. Around a mountain, and then landing at the airport. Hopefully. That is the plan anyway. Still have to set the local altimeter, but we'll get to that. Sure, that's what we need, a little bit of hazy clouds. Barely had a cloud through the entire flight. I really hope it stays clear for this landing, because there's a good chance that the RNAV approach, the autopilot is going to struggle with it. Tends to struggle with those tight turns. Even though otherwise the PMDG lateral, actually the lateral navigation is something that they're overhauling right now. That should be coming out soon. Should be another update post on the PMDG forums tomorrow with you know, the next release is the 600 version of the 737, which should be coming out soon, and that will have the new lateral navigation code, and then it will also be patched into the 737-700, which is what I'm flying currently at the same time. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm not 100% convinced I want to buy the 600 version. Probably will. It's even shorter than this one.
Vol 2702, contact Sao Paulo Control on 120.45. Enjoy your afternoon.
Approach on 120.45, Gol 2702. Approach Gol 2702, descending to 6,000 feet. Continue descent via the Oscil 1 Alpha arrival. For the nav approach to runway 02 right with the Jelute transition, Gol 2702.
38916, you're on radar contact, descend via Daran 1 Bravo, arrival to 14,000. Bravo,
Okay, we're going to set the engine starters on continuous, just in case anything goes wrong in the approach. Seems unlikely, it's so hot, it's warm and sunny out here, but procedures. What else do we need to do? Arrival and forecast, done that. Landing elevation set, flaps set in the FMC, in the McDo. Heading course and NAVs we don't need because we're doing an RNAV approach, not an ILS. Minimums set, auto brake set 3. Altimeter set to local, which is 3009er. Landing and runway turn-off lights are on. Approach mode not yet armed. Speed brake not yet armed. Starters 1 and 2 continuous. We're all set. We'll arm the approach just before Galoot.
The 38916, do you receive the ILS sign on 3 now?
India Mike, technical X-ray, sorry, 8916.
Fire, sir, you're descend 10, 10,000, and you're clear. ILS Zulu, runway 23 left approach.
So we're going to cut that direction between those two hills. And then Rio de Janeiro is actually a little bit further in that direction over there in that bay there somewhere. So we got a little ways to go here still. That's what I meant. Like it's pilot to ATC. I got a prediction here of arriving at our destination in 34 seconds. But as you can see, we still have 32 miles to go of slow turning approach flying. So okay, so that is a Salu.
Goal 2702
should be able to descend now.
3006 cleared for the RNAV approach to runway 02 right with the Jella transition at Santos Dumont.
Altimeter is 3006 cleared for the nav approach to runway 02 right with the JLU transition. Goal 2702.
There we go, now we're descending. Next set altitude there is 6,000 feet. And after that...
Southwest 112 is with you, descending at a flight level 237 down to 17,000.
Southwest 112, buenas noches. Weather contact 3002, 21 down to feet, ready to Thomas.
We'll see if ATC will give us a new altitude, otherwise I'll just pick one.
Direct Thomas for the RNAV 7 approach Southwest 112.
RNAV 107, correct.
So the airport, I think, is actually like at our 1 o'clock. Kind of, yeah. The crinkly bits around the edges. I don't know if I really want to add more text to that screen. Probably not.
Goal 2702 descend via the Jella transition to 2,700 feet.
2,700 feet. This is where we're going to have to start slowing down here significantly too. I think we can still hit the next waypoint at 240, and then it will be 220, and then 168, 160. So we're going to be slowing down pretty rapidly here. Probably need to add in some speed brake at some points. Ooh, we're getting pretty close to this mountain, aren't we? I mean, not really, but it looks like it. Yeah, so those buildings over here, that's where the airport is. So we're flying like this, and then we're hooking around, and we're coming back on like this, I think. So it's going to be, we're going to be flying right past the hill there, which has got that statue of Christ on it, I think. And I should actually have approach mode on here. There we go. MCP speed. Glide path already. Still on LNAV though. Look at all these buildings.
Goal 2702 altimeter is 3006 at Santos Dumont. Contact tower on 118.7. Have a good
3006.
afternoon.
Altimeter is 3006 tower on 118.7 Goal 2702. Tower Goal 2702 inbound for nav approach runway 02 right.
GOL 2702 good afternoon. Radar contact. Continue RNAV to runway 02 right call when established on final.
Continue nav to
I'm worried
runway
about our
02
speed.
right
Too
will call
fast
when
right now. Oh
established
crap,
on
we're on
final.
the...
Goal 2702.
GOL 2702 this is Rio
It
Tower
had switched
on
us to
118.7. Please repeat your
speed mode, which I did not realize. Okay. Speed breaks out.
1638 approach 119.4.
We're still okay, but we have to slow down a lot and fast.
GOL 2702 slow to 160 knots or less.
I know I'm trying to do that, man.
Wilco Goal 2702.
We're also too low. Like I feel like we're actually below where we should be. We should be above 18.5.
50 radar contact west of 46 miles, altimeter 3010.
All right. I feel like for some reason we were on the glide slope already, and we're too. All right. I don't need the radar. I do need this. I'm just gonna follow the flight director and ignore the altitudes. Gear, flaps, flaps.
Okay, 50 contact approach 100.4 again.
We had 1540. If I actually manage to pull this off hand flying it, I will be patting myself on the back later. It just means I can't take any screenshots though, because
Caution, terrain.
yeah, I know, I got it.
Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain, terrain. Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain. Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up.
Made it through the worst of it.
Number 217.
There's the airport. There's the runway.
100.4.
Goal 2702, establish on final.
GOL 2.
Clear to land runway 02 right Goal 2702.
Approaching minimums. Minimums.
Approaching runways. Approaching 02 right.
20. 10.
600 meters remaining. 300.
I don't know about this. 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 I don't know about this.
Meters remaining.
Well, I mean, we got the front wheel into the oh shit zone. So for some reason, the RNAV acquired the glide path like way too early. I just wanted to drop you off right at the beach, Rumpo. You know you were going to go to the beach anyway, so there's the beach right in front of you. That's exactly right. You can get out, and there's beautiful water right in front of you there. I also didn't have the speed brake arms; they were still on. It was a bit of a hectic landing. You can actually see the statue of Christ up there on the mountain. A bit of a hectic landing because for some reason the autopilot decided to capture the glide path way early, and we were suddenly like 500 feet below where we should have been. So I did have to take control. Now I'm going to try to see if I can get us off this beach. Right in the bonus zone. Yeah, that's right. Goal 2702, clear of active.
20, right.
Contact ground on 121.7. Enjoy your stay.
Ground on 121.7, goal 2702.
Goal 2702, request taxi to a gate. Goal 2702, request taxi to a gate. It keeps thinking I said 8.
Goal 2702, taxi to runway 02,
yeah, never mind.
Right hold short runway 02.
That's enough out of you, pilot to ATC. Big Brazilian flag over there. It's a nice looking airport.
TCAS TA only. TCAS transponder.
Wouldn't be a Microsoft Flight Simulator airport without some sort of pickup truck, fuel tanker, or bus somewhere on the taxiways or runway. I'm really curious if I flew this well enough to trigger the challenge on Volanta, because they do put you like in a certain path. I feel like I should have. I don't think I strayed very much from the path. We'll see when I turn off the engines there at the gate. So, and see, you told okay, we're actually right on time. We got like 6 minutes to go. Find ourselves a nice spot to park, and then we're gonna have ourselves a stiff drink. It's a very nice airport scenery. Very, very nice. It's a tough runway too. Like that is not. It's not a very long runway. I'll have to do this again sometime. It's fun. I want to do it on the autopilot so I can get a better view of it. Or maybe I'll fly it in a smaller plane. That would make it a lot easier, of course. The infield grass. Yeah. Let's go gate 4. Seems like a nice place to park at. city looks amazing. The cityscape from here looks really cool. No, this is actually the scenery that I bought. So the scenery included the airport as well as some of the landmarks. So I would assume that some of that, certainly, I mean, some of the stuff is definitely in the base sim, but I think this has been improved. All right, Rumpa, take care. Have a good night. Some of this has definitely been improved, and it's absolutely worth it. That's GTA 5 level. Yeah, it is. Especially at this distance, it actually looks really good. A lot of the scenery in Flight Simulator looks really good from far away, and then as you get closer, it doesn't look so good anymore until you get really close to an airport like this. But this sort of medium distance is really nice. Paolo Ricardo is the company, the publisher that made that scenery. It's really well done. Alright. Go. Park and brake set. So we can fire up the APU here for a couple minutes, get some lights switched around. What's my landing rate on that actually? It doesn't look like, I don't think it was very good. I mean, I hit it pretty hard because I knew we were running out of runway there. Oh, 342. That's actually not too bad. I thought I punted it a bit harder than that. That is not too shabby. I am perfectly happy with that. People always worry about, oh, they got to get these low feet per minute, but I'll tell you what, if I hadn't put her on the runway there, we would have actually not, we would have ended up in the beach, in the water rather. And yes, you are right, those are all individual buildings. In fact, one of these days I should really take the helicopter and fly it around here, because that would also be really nice, because this is a, I mean, even the bridge over there looks really good. And I saw some other scenery, so I think we'll come back here at some point and we'll take the helicopter and just fly around for sightseeing. Okay. APU is on. We can shut the engines off. Alright, let's see. I'm actually going to bring Volanta over to the screen here. So that's our path that we flew. And it got hairy right around here, right around this area there is when I realized that we were way below where we should have been. And then we made this turn. It's actually not too bad. It got a little bit dicey here. The plane was yelling at us a bit for the terrain, but let's see. Yes, challenge unlocked. Successfully completed a challenge. Sweet. Does it show my flight path in that vector? No, it doesn't. Okay. Well, there's a few more challenges. There's some other really nice approaches. Probably do this at some point. Dubrovnik. Same with New Zealand, Queenstown. Definitely going to do that one soon. Churchill. And, well, this Miami to Ibiza is that's like a 10-hour flight, so that will be something I can do on my own someday. That's not a stream-worthy type of thing. But I think this is a great way to end the stream. Get the APU power off and the battery power off. Everything else is already off. All the switches in the off position. It's time to go home, folks. You don't have to go home. You can go to the beach, but you can't stay on my airplane. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it, as always. We'll see you again soon. Make sure you check out shacknews.com if you are not there every day yet already. And outside of Shacknews.com and all the gaming goodness that's there, here's Shack Pets. Take care of yourselves, guys. We'll see you next week.